In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we're expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at advertise@k98talk.org. The leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98 Talk and the Spark Radio Network.
It's for our own cause. We got a pen and telephone about that's all you lost. Political correctness will replace the Bill of Rights. Support religious freedom unless you pray to Jesus Christ. The press is in our pockets cause there's no one free. You cannot make a move now that the NSA can see. Don't expect equality, respect, or fair play. The IRS will target those who vote the wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome to the...
All right, folks. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. It is just a few minutes past the hour of 6 right here in beautiful downtown Oklahoma City. Sorry if I seem a little more amped up than usual. It's because I am. We just had a special sneak preview of my debut over on WNJC 1360 AM out of Philadelphia today. And it has been nothing but rave reviews from everybody who tuned in, including the station manager over there. So I want to thank everyone who is making this show a success. I couldn't do it without each and every one of you. There are a lot of folks behind the scenes, other hosts, folks that help me do the research from time to time, folks that give me ideas, and basically just, a group of folks that without you, this would be absolutely no fun to do. So I want to thank each and every one of you. So again, as we always do, I want to give a shout out to the affiliates. We're going to give them again in the order as they were added. Of course, there is my home network, the one I've built, the one that started it all. It's been through a few iterations. It is the Spark Radio Network, and forever and shall it remain so, where this show can be heard every Monday through Friday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, in the evening for the moment. In a few weeks, there may be some changes. I will let you know that for sure, one way or the other. Now, as far as the networks that have picked this up, K98Talk.com was actually one of the first ones to pick us up, and since that time I've actually become the programming director over there, so the network and the station there work pretty closely hand in hand. The next to pick us up after that was AMFM247.com, where this show can be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 Eastern. The next to pick us up after that was SHR Media, where now we can also be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 Eastern in the morning. The next to pick us up after that was Red State Talk Radio, where the show can be heard every Sunday at 6 in the morning, 5 Eastern. So if you're an early riser, check out Red State over there. They've got some really great programs. Want to give a shout out to the programming director over there, Mr. Primo. Pretty good all-around guy. Learned a lot since I've been over there, so hopefully we can continue to work together. Next on the list, I know it just keeps going, right? Next on the list was Leading Edge Radio Network. I want to give a big shout out to those folks. They actually carry us every morning. Basically, if you're listening over there, you're hearing the episode from the day before, but it's every morning. I believe it is 7 Central. And then, at AM/FM 24/7, they have 8 low-power terrestrial stations, so we're on in Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, a few other places that I can't think of off the top of my head. And then we have the first standalone terrestrial that picked us up, which is another low-power station, but that is High Point Radio out of New Jersey. And then the latest one, the one that I'm still coming down off of the oh my god they actually liked me moment, is WNJC 1360 out of Philadelphia. They cover a good portion of Pennsylvania, northern Delaware, and then I think Jersey, pretty much really close to Atlantic City is kind of where they are. So again, I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody involved, all the fans, all the listeners, all the folks behind the scenes that help us make everything that we do here as good as it is. I mean, and I'm not saying that this isn't about me. We do this as a group. So all of you that are involved in whatever way you're involved, thank you, because we couldn't do any of this without you. But I did want to take a moment to give a shout-out to the affiliates. Now, of course, as we always do, it is time to take a break and pay some bills. So we are going to have to do that here real quick-like. But when we come back, we do have lots of show. We're going to talk about Biden. Is he in? Is he out? What has he decided to do? And Ryan, will he be a good speaker? Will he not be a good speaker? Is it seriously the direction that we seem to think the country needs to go? All that and more right here on tonight's episode of America Off the Rails. I'll be right back with you here in just a couple minutes. Again, don't go away. We'll be right back.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying out?
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
religious freedom unless you pray to Jesus Christ. The blessings in our pockets 'cause there's no one.
All right, folks, just want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. That is concealandcarry.net. Again, the word conceal, the letter N, the word carry.net. If you are looking for ammunition, firearms, training of any type anywhere within the continental United States, look them up. Click on the state that corresponds to you. Give them a quick look over. I'm sure you'll find everything that you are looking for there. And at this point, we are going to go ahead and get right back into the show, but I realized I kind of did this out of order, but I wanted to make sure that I gave them the shout out that they do deserve. So as of right now, we'll be right back here in just a couple seconds. We're going to go ahead and roll the intro and get stuff started.
This promise to the American people: if you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period.
This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
Oh, welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy. Don't expect us to admit a mistake. We're paying off election debts to those who will take. Attorney General's lying even while
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. You're listening to America Off the Rails with your host, Rick Robinson.
All right, folks, this is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Again, it's a little bit past the hour of 6 right in beautiful downtown Oklahoma City. We've got the first break out the way. We've given a shout-out to a sponsor. We paid some bills. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Again, big shout-out, big thank you to WNJC 1360, the Powerhouse Philadelphia. Thank you for opening the doors to me a day early. If you missed it, do not sweat, do not fret. I will be back with you on that show on the air tomorrow afternoon at 2 at our regularly scheduled time, and that is Eastern. So if you missed it today, don't sweat it. Today was just a little special sneak preview thanks to Mr. Rick Trader over there, who's been absolutely wonderful in the time that we've been getting ready for the transition over there. So if you missed it, you can catch it tomorrow. And never fear, because we're actually going to start working something out. We have so many shows that we now share between WNJC, shows that started over there that have come over here, shows that started over here that have come over there, that I'm actually thinking about putting together something special on the weekends where no matter when they're heard here or there, we're going to kind of maybe play them all back to back for maybe either Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but it's just an idea running around in my head. So one way or another, we will make sure that you get your WNJ fix, because they have been great to us, so we want to continue to be great to them. Now, I've gushed enough. Okay, so on to the news of the day. You know, if you're paying attention, then last night the whole thing is, you know, everybody was like, oh, Biden's thinking about running, Biden's talking about doing this, Biden's talking about doing that. And if you listen to something that was talked about last night, it sounded like he was leaning in that direction, but let's listen to it, and then we'll talk some more.
Quick move, Vice President Joe Biden propping himself up and simultaneously taking a swipe at Secretary Hillary Clinton. Clinton has claimed she was always 100% behind the daring SEAL Team 6 raid that killed Osama bin Laden. But today, Vice President Biden is saying that might not be true.
There were only 2 people who were definitive and were absolutely certain. Leon Panetta said go, and Bob Gates, who's already publicly said this, said don't go. And others were as 59-41. Some ended up saying go, but it was such a close call. And I joked and I said, you all sound like 17 Larry Summers, an economist on the one hand and the other. and they said, Joe, what would you do? And there was a third option that I didn't really think we should do. I said, I think we should make one more pass with another UAV to see if it is. And the reason I did that is I didn't want to take a position to go if that was not where he was going to go. So as we walked out of the room and walked upstairs, I told him my opinion, that I thought he should go, but follow his own instincts. But it would have been a mistake. Imagine if I had said in front of everyone, don't go or go, and his decision was a different decision. It undercuts that relationship. So I never, on a difficult issue, never say what I think finally until I go up in the Oval with him alone.
Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry joins me. Ed.
Good to see you, Greta. You know what's significant about what he said? There's sort of a long way of saying he revised where he was on the Osama bin Laden raid at the very end. The vice president has told this story many times about being with the entire war cabinet and sort of, being careful to not say what his position was. Hillary Clinton, in her book, by the way, last year said that Vice President Biden was very skeptical of the raid. All of that is consistent until the last part where the vice president today added something new, which is after that meeting in front of everyone, he went upstairs with the president and told him one-on-one, I think you should go, but you have to go with your gut. That's what's new today. And what's significant about it is, again, in her book, Hillary Clinton says she was saying, let's go. Vice President Biden was skeptical. That makes him look weak on one of the most important national security decisions, obviously, that any president, not just this president, has made ever. And so this sign, adding to the fact that he beat up a bit on Hillary Clinton today for the second straight day, the vice president said in a speech, Republicans are not my enemies, they're my friends. That contradicts what Hillary Clinton said in the debate there when she was asked about her enemies. So all of these are tea leaves saying he's revising things, he's launching attacks, he's getting ready perhaps to get in.
Do we have a date when we can expect that it's like ridiculous.
Here's what I think is really going on. I've talked to several people close to him who say that in phone calls and private meetings, he's indicated he wants to get in, is likely to get in, but that he's not going to be rushed. And that in one phone call, I'm told very recently, he said, I'm going to get in, but over the next month. Okay?
Well, he's not going to be on the Georgia ballot if he does that.
But what's going on this week when you heard timetables of 48 hours and whatnot? Someone inside the Biden camp is throwing out a timetable, it might be artificial, to say, Mr. Vice President, you got to go. You got to make, because he's blown through so many deadlines. So when you see these trial balloons and these leaks, it's because somebody on the inside is saying, enough is enough. If you really want to do it, do it. I think he wants to do it. He just hasn't quite pushed the button.
Ed, thank you.
Good to see you.
All right, so that's last night, right? Everybody's all amped up talking about, oh, Biden's going to run, Biden's going to do this, Biden's going to do that. Well, let me just clue you in on something. You know, I only pull this out every once in a while. But for all of you that were like, oh my God, Biden's considering it, it's going to be so great. He's gonna keep Hillary from getting the White House. Just remember, you were pulling for this guy.
And Neil Smith, an old butt buddy. Are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man. I miss you.
An old butt buddy. Old butt buddy Biden. Yeah, that's all of a sudden who everybody decides they want to get behind. You know, buy a shotgun, you know, fire warning shots. Did you bother to look to see if that advice was illegal in your state before you gave it to your wife, sir? But no, this is the guy that everybody wants to be the Democratic presidential nominee. And, well, guess what? Guess what? He said F you, because here's his announcement from today.
As my family and I have worked through the grieving process, I've said all along what I've said time and again to others, that it may very well be that process, by the time we get through it, closes the window on mounting a realistic campaign for president, that it might close. I've concluded it has closed.
Not only has that window closed, they locked it, they shuttered it, and they nailed the bitch shut. Okay, let's just, for once and for all, put it to bed. Biden is not running for president. Which, honestly, I'm bittersweet about, because Biden, as somebody who's running for president, would have made this job so much easier for the next 18, 19 months or so, for as long as he remained in the race. What concerned me about Biden, and the reason I'm breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief today that he's decided to get out, and I think somebody finally told him, look, at this point, whatever happens, all you're going to do is detract from Hillary, which means we're going to get, Bernie Sanders. Not even the majority of the Democrats want Great Scott guy. They don't. Because they understand that he doesn't understand how this stuff actually works. He's been in Congress so long that it has fried his brain. He is the Democratic equivalent, or the independent equivalent. I'm still confused as to how this guy is running as a Democratic presidential candidate when he's an independent. Maybe that's why they all of a sudden decided that independents could vote in Democratic elections, because, wouldn't make sense otherwise to let an independent run on their ticket, but whatever. So let's just set that aside for a moment. He is basically the independent's version of John McCain. Somebody who has been in there so long that he has no idea what he's doing or talking about anymore. And anytime you open his mouth, it is gold. And it's the same for both of them. So Biden would have been the trifecta. I mean, come on. McCain's already up for re-election. We have Back to the Future dweeb as one of the presidential frontrunners on the Democratic side of things. Biden gets in there, oh my God, it would have been the trifecta of comedy gold. It would have been amazing. It would just, the Saturday Night Live bits would have written themselves. So yes, I'm a little sad that he's getting out. Actually not getting out, never got in. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that he's not getting in, because now there's less of a chance of whatever votes Hillary was going to get being split and it winding up giving Bernie Sanders a guaranteed nomination. I talked about this today on WNJC, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit because some of you will get to hear it tomorrow. So I'm not going to go too much into it. But I gave my predictions if Biden ran. The good news is now that prediction doesn't really hold, because my prediction was if Biden gets in, he splits the vote for Hillary. That ensures Bernie Sanders gets the nomination. And if that happened, if we went so far left on one side that the country put a socialist up as their front runner, then that would have ensured Donald Trump. So we would have had crony capitalists and socialists on the same stage debating each other. Which again brings me back to my original statement that I've made before. I'm getting to the point where I do not recognize this country any longer. Because we now have such a polarizing group of folks that we have Bernie Sanders on one side and Donald Trump on the other. Never the twain shall meet, and each side is now picking up the banner and running with it. And I'm sorry, I can't support either one of them. I honestly don't know who I'm supporting yet. I will tell you if it comes down to it. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it. I don't think I can pull the lever for Trump. At this point, I would almost be willing to pull the lever for either Krispy Kreme or Bush, just to keep it from being Trump, because I don't think good things are going to happen if he becomes president. It may seem good at first. It'll be kind of like the Obama syndrome was. Everybody's all giddy, and you've got the lady at the gas pump talking about how she wasn't going to have to worry about putting gas in her car anymore, and she wasn't going to have to worry about paying her house note anymore because Obama was going to take care of her. Then you listen to her 2 years later, she's completely disillusioned. If we put Trump in there, those first couple of years, they're going to be euphoric because he has so many people that are behind him and so much popularity when it comes to just the raw numbers that everybody's going to be riding this wave of euphoria. And then it's going to come crashing down because you're going to realize he doesn't really want anything different than what we already have. And I've said this time and time again. I guess I will keep saying it because he is not a conservative. He is not a liberal. He's an oligarchist. I mean, you have such things as an anarchist. Let's call Trump what he is. He's an oligarchist. He wants corporate control above all else. And if we turn the reins over to him, that's exactly what he's going to find a way to do. And here's the problem. No matter which way this goes, if it goes, and now there's a little bit less likely of a chance, but if it goes the way that I'm afraid it's going to go, we're either going to get to pull a lever for a socialist who's going to give all of the control and power to the government, and then everybody that is doing such a terrible thing that everybody's all like, oh my God, private sector sucks, everybody's out for themselves, they're all chasing money, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Well, that's great, that's all well and good, but what you don't realize is going to happen is if you start turning those type of controls over to the government, then the same people that are in private sector screwing everything up now, they're going to become government employees. So what exactly is that going to fix? Just a question. Or we have the oligarchist, where all of a sudden, does anybody ever watch the show Continuum? They just did their season finale, or their series finale a couple nights ago, where basically it starts out where there's this futuristic time where corporations rule the world. If we let Trump have the reins, and you don't think that's going to happen, then I urge you to go back to Colorado and eat another brownie because you're high. Just saying. All right, so before we take a break, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of loyal listeners who are listening all the time. I want to give a quick shout out to, and you hear his commercial a couple of times to show, Mr. Slickery Trigger, the creator of Rebel Road Tactical. He also has a shooting course, or a training course for... I'm stepping all over myself trying to be nice to a guy and screwing it up. All right, so this is what happens when I ad-lib. So, yeah, so we want to give a shout-out to Mr. Trigger. And, of course, he'll give you his real name should he choose to, because obviously that ain't it. And, honestly, since I screwed up that one so bad, I think we're just going to go to break a couple minutes early and come back, because we still got lots more show left, and this will open up more time on the other end, because we're going to start talking Ryan and let you know exactly what I think about the fact that all of a sudden everybody seems to be pro-Ryan, and I'm a little perturbed. But we will talk about that when we get back. As soon as I finish queuing things up here. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Don't go away. We still got about half the show remaining. Lots to talk about. Let's bash on some Paul Ryan when we get back.
Red Nation Rising brings you Town Hall Radio.
From a single tweet to 3 million a month, our community is a force to be reckoned with on social media.
So don't miss our show, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on K98 Talk.
Our chat room is our co-host, and you ask the question.
Join us and be heard.
So get ready to sound off on Red Nation Rising Radio. No one else is going to do it for you.
There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling out my name like a long lost friend.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
K98Talk.com, a leader in internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98Talk.com.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members, of their families or their children, asking them to deploy, patrol, stay on watch, on point, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to bring them all the way home, to keep them secure, to have their backs for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs do whatever it takes to help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Find out how you can help at findwwp.org.
This is JD.
And this is Stacy.
Join us Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Game On. Remember,
lock up the children and the old folks.
Game On, the home of liberty-conservative conservatism.
Where no one is safe, and no one is spared, not even the hosts.
Oh, that was supposed to be a spin cycle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We love you anyway. Right round, baby.
Self-monitoring
right
Ebola radio strikes again.
Anyway.
Anybody see the host monkey? Where's the host monkey? Where's the host monkey? For God's sake, I need an antidote. Just do your rant. Let's pop out of the segment.
Find us on Twitter at JD and Stacy.
You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Calls, we got a pen and telephone to bypass all your laws. Political correctness will replace the Bill of Rights. Support religious freedom, bless you, pray to Jesus Christ. The press is in our pockets.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live, and I really thought I was about to have some breaking news. As you know, today is Back to the Future Day. Everybody knows that today is the day that supposedly, the character Marty McFly, this is the day that he traveled to in the future. So I'm scrolling through news feeds, as I always do on the break, see if there's anything worth talking about, anything that I need to change gears on. And I see this thing pop up that all of a sudden Nike announces self-lacing mags will be a reality. So I get all excited, because it's the one thing that I've been talking about for the last couple of days with all my friends. I'll be like, look, dude, I would love to have some self-lacing shoes. I'm not going to lie, I am lazy. I would love to be able to put the things on, hit a button, all of a sudden it's done. And be like, yeah, here you go. Woohoo, less work for me. Woohoo. Okay, so I admit it. There are some things I'm lazy about. Work ethic, usually not one of them. But like shoes, who's got time for that? Okay, so anyway, I get all excited, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. How much are they going to cost? Turns out it's only part of a charity auction. So as much as I would love to own them, I don't have enough money. I could go shake my couch cushions or something and see if, a couple million falls out. But if I could do that, I wouldn't. Never mind. But anyway, so I thought I was going to have some really cool news, and it turns out it was just a charity thing. So, blah. I'm just saying, I really want the self-lacing shoes. Somebody needs to get on that. Think of all the lazy bums like me that would buy them. You could charge $150. I would buy them. And I don't spend more than about $20 or $30 on shoes. But let me tell you, if you could hand me a pair of shoes, or give me a pair of shoes that would lace themselves and basically tighten themselves up, I would give you $150. Easy. So, yeah, Nike, I know you don't listen to the show, but in the event you are, self-lacing shoes. You just proved you can make them. Make the world believe. We need self-lacing shoes. All right, so enough about that. Okay, so one of the other things that's been going crazy in the news today, and I've been paying attention to it a little bit more as I could during the J job, because of course we aired for the first time over on WNJC, so I was all excited. Wanted to make sure we had some cool things to talk about back over here on the home stuff, because no matter what, the Spark and K98 Talk will always be my flagships. We may now officially have a terrestrial flagship in WNJC, but my flags were always planted internet-wise first. And that's where my heart's always going to be. But it is so awesome to be part of a station that is FCC regulated. And I guess the scariest thing was realizing that I now officially, in some small way, go head-to-head with Rush Limbaugh. Little scary. Just saying. Alright, so, anyway, back to what we were going to talk about a moment ago. Mr. Paul Ryan has made the news again. And apparently, well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to let you hear it from him, and then we're going to talk.
Congressman Paul Ryan saying he would be willing to serve as House Speaker.
Tonight I shared with my colleagues what I think it will take to have a unified conference and for the next Speaker to be successful. Basically, I made a few requests for what I think is necessary, and I asked my colleagues to hear back from them by the end of the week. First, we need to move from an opposition party to being a proposition party. Because we think the nation is on the wrong path, we have a duty to show the right one. Our next speaker has to be a visionary one. Second, we need to update our House rules so that everyone can be a more effective representative. This is, after all, the people's house. But we need to do this as a team. And it needs to include fixes that ensure that we do not experience constant leadership challenges and crises. Third, we as a conference should unify now and not after a divisive speaker election. And the last point is personal. I cannot and I will not give up my family time. I may not be on the road as often as previous speakers, but I pledge to try and make up for it with more time communicating our vision, our message. What I told members is, if you can agree to these requests, and if I can truly be a unifying figure, then I will gladly serve. And if I'm not unifying, that will be fine as well. I'll be happy to stay where I am at the Ways and Means Committee. Here is how I see it. It is our duty to serve the people the way they deserve to be served. It is our duty to make the tough decisions this country needs to get our nation back on track. The challenges we face today are too difficult and too demanding to turn our backs and walk away.
All right, so that is Paul Ryan basically stating that should the need arise and should they be able to meet some stipulations, he would consider running for Speaker. Now, few things that you need to know about Mr. Paul Ryan that we're going to share today, because somebody's got to do it, so why not let it be me? And we have something that was put together by Daniel Stafford, another host here on K98. It's actually a pretty good graphic that outlines a few things. This is Wisconsin's grade for Paul Ryan when it comes to a Liberty score. He has a Liberty score in his home state of a grade of an F with a 58%. Now, Paul Ryan, as far as the national scorecard, is 55%. Using the Heritage Action scorecard, they have the House of Republicans average, with it being at 67%. So Ryan is below average in the National Caucus, and he is below average in his home state. So tell me why Paul Ryan should even be being considered. I mean, considered at all for the Speaker position. And in case you need any more proof that he's not the guy that we need, let me play you something else here.
Listen, I think Paul Ryan would make a great speaker, but this decision is up to the members. And I thought last night went very well, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll have a nominee. I think Paul is going to get the support that he's looking for, but he laid out a very clear vision of how he would run the speakership, and I thought the members responded very well to it. And but we all know Paul Ryan, right? He's a very good member. He works hard. He's very bright. And he has good relationships, I think, with all the wings of the party. So that's why I think he'll be doing fine. I did announce to the members that the conference election for Speaker will be next Wednesday. And that the 28th, and on Thursday, the 29th, the election will occur on the floor. This is not about us. Not about us as leaders, not about us as members. Our job is to do the right thing for the American people every day. And you've heard me say this multiple times, but I'll say it one more time. If you do the right things every day for the right reasons, the right things will happen for our country. Thanks.
All right, so did he really just say that his job as Speaker and their job as a caucus was to do the right things for the American people every day? Who are you and what have you done? What have you done for the last, you've had the majority now for how many months, and you have the gall to sit there and say, my job and Paul Ryan's job will to make sure that we do the right things for the country as needed. Really? How about you're doing the things that you need to do to make sure you line your own pockets, you slimy weasel? And everybody's all like, oh, Paul Ryan will unify the party. If this guy wants Paul Ryan, that's the last person I want to be speaker. If Orangey Orange, sorry Jason, wants Paul Ryan, then he's the last person that we need. Because that just proves to me that Paul Ryan is not, I repeat, not going to do the things that this country needs to have done. Yes, we need unity. But we need unity for the right reasons. We as a party have been bending over to the Democrats for the last 15 years and thinking that if we just bend over that much further, maybe if I grab my pinky toe this time they'll like me. Are you kidding me? As a country, this is the last thing that we need. Is somebody that has such a low opinion of liberty that even his home state says, yeah, this guy, yeah, not so much. And look, maybe I should have opened with this segment because I'm going to be really fired up going into Grouchy Show and I'm going to have to shut up. But that's all right because look, you know, some of you, I know, I'm already hearing it now. Look, Rick, Boehner's not so bad and he's leaving. So maybe we should just go along to get along. At least then we'll have a speaker. Look, go back to Colorado, spark up a J, eat a brownie, leave me alone. Because if the Boehner call wasn't enough to make you realize that Paul Ryan is the last guy that we need, here, check out this one.
Well, he appears to me to be one of the people over there that would be reasonable. I mean, look at some of the other people. I'm a Paul Ryan fan. I don't agree with him on much of what he does. I think what he's done with Medicare and Medicaid, what he's wanted to do, I disagree with. But generally speaking, I think that we've been able to work with him as so indicated by Senator Murray just a few minutes ago.
If Paul Ryan is winning a bid for Speaker, the Harry Reid endorsement's not going to help him get any Republican votes.
I just speak the truth. Okay.
Are you handicapping him though with public endorsement?
No, I simply said of all those people, I hope he gets it. If it helps him, fine. If it doesn't, it's too bad.
So yeah, if Boehner coming out and being the head cheerleader for Paul Ryan doesn't scare the crap out of you, Harry Reid wants a Paul Ryan speakership. Did you hear the part in the beginning where he said he's the one that would be the most reasonable? Democratic liberal translation, he's the one that's going to bend over and grab his ankles. How many more times do we have to do that before we realize that these people are not going to give an inch? Ew, sorry, bad analogy. Anyway, my point is Paul Ryan who we really need as speaker? The answer to that question is no. So for all of you that are touting liberty and screaming from the rooftops that we need our freedoms back and we need to slowly take our freedoms back, Paul Ryan is not the guy that's going to be able to do that. Much like putting Trump at the helm in 2016 is not going to be the way to do that. It's not going to work. Neither of them is liberty-minded. Trump is the first one to call for censorship when people say things about him that he does not like. We already have a president in office that does that. Paul Ryan? His own state hates him. Why would we want him as speaker? I mean, and back to Boehner again. I know, I promised I wouldn't call him that anymore because he was resigning, but he's earned it today. I cannot believe that he says, as long as you do the right things for the right reasons for your country every day, good things will happen to you. So what exactly, Mr. Boehner, are your ideas of the right things? Because let me tell you, as as a conservative, what I want to see happen, and it has not happened, and it should be happening every single day, because even Paul Ryan says that we need to show the American people a clear way to get things done. So this is what you do when you have a majority, Mr. Speaker and Mr. Speaker hopeful. You put your ideas on the desk. You vote for them, you pass them, you send them to the Senate, you use your majority there to pass them, and then you put them on the president's desk, and you make him either sign them or veto them, and you continue to do that until you can show a clear pattern to the American people of what it is that your caucus in both houses is trying to do. At this point, it doesn't matter as much what you accomplish as it does to show the American people what it is that you are trying to accomplish, which right now is nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. You guys have done nothing. Over 60% of the American people cannot even stand the sight of you, and each and every single one of you has earned that distinction because you have done nothing. We continue every time to put you in there because each and every one of you says the right things. Put me in there and I'll fight for you. Put me in there and I'll bring freedom back to the table. Put me in there and I'll get the folks in Congress doing what it is that they need to do. And every single time we fall for it, that's exactly what it is. You said what you needed to hear to get elected. Now we have somebody who is Paul Ryan saying what he thinks people need him to hear to make sure that he gets to be Speaker. Because he's already figured out he's never going to be anything else. There would be no reason why he would be about to pigeonhole himself like he is if he thought he still had a political future. But he knows that he does not because we understand who he is now. He, like Obama, was an unknown quantity a few years ago, and everybody elevated him to a level that he did not deserve. Now we see who he is, we understand who he is, and we understand what he's done, and he is the last person that we ever need to see as the Speaker of the House. And if we, as a group and a caucus, as they like to keep throwing that around, do not understand that, then we are getting the government that we deserve. And if we have a group of Republicans that continue this idea of bending over and grabbing your ankles just to make the Democrats like you, then we are going to get the government that we deserve. And when that happens, plenty of us will be standing up screaming, yelling, clamoring, and I hope you'll be among us. But the simple fact of the matter is, our window, to steal Biden's analogy, our window is closing. If we do not do something to correct the course that we are on, there is not much time left to make any changes. And if we continue down the road that we're on right now, which will be Boehner light if we put Paul Ryan in, then nothing's going to change. We will get nothing accomplished except for whatever it is the Democrats want to do, because for some reason, no matter who holds the power anymore, supposedly, they make all the rules. When we had a conservative House, Senate, and President, the Democrats still made the majority of the rules. They had a Democratic Congress, Senate, and President. They made the majority of the rules. People didn't like what was happening, so we put conservatives slowly back into power. The liberals still make the majority of the rules because we want to go along to get along. Because we've got to be we've got to be the nice people. We've got to be the nice guys. And I'll be the first one to tell you that there are times when compromise is a good idea. And I've told every single one of you this time and time again. If we could put aside the 7 main hot button issues that makes everybody in the country mad, we'd realize that all of us have a lot more in common with each other than we do these idiots in D.C. I say that almost every single show because it is true. It's a true statement. It's the truth. But the problem is the folks in D.C., number one, they don't want to put those hot button issues aside. Number two, they want to ram everything that they want down our throats sideways. And we have a group of supposed conservatives that are allowing them to do so. So I ask you, is Paul Ryan the best choice for Speaker? My answer to that question is a resounding not only no, but hell no. Not only is he not the best choice for Speaker, he shouldn't even be a choice at all. I don't know who we should have, honestly, because I don't know enough about the folks that are trying to run for it. But I'll tell you somebody that I thought would have been a good one, and I guess he's not going to go for it, and that would have been Gomer. I think Louis would have been a good speaker, but I don't think he's going to go for it. I was glad to see McCarthy stepping out of the light, because there are way too many things going on in that guy's closet that nobody ever needs to know about. But Ryan? Really? No. All right, so as we start winding down, that is actually going to do it for this particular episode of America Off the Rails. Just want to give you guys a quick reminder, because I haven't done this in a while. There are plenty of ways that you can hang out, should you choose to do so, by hanging out with yours truly, obviously. And that would be, you can communicate with me via email at a couple of different emails. You can shoot me an email at ricky@thesparkradionetwork.com. You can shoot me an email at rick@k98talk.com. You can hang out with me on Twitter by going to _R_OKC. Clicking the follow button. I do typically follow back. Unless you annoy me, then you'll be blocked and summarily removed. And then, of course, you can also follow me around on Facebook. There's the America Off the Rails show page. You can go like that. It's actually a little bit different. It's America is Coming Off the Rails on the page. It's more of a current events type thing. The show, I pretty much admit the fact that we have pretty much come off the rails and now it's time to fix it. So they are companions to each other, slightly different perspectives. Then, of course, there is my professional Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Rowdy Ricky Robinson. I'm not on there as often as I should be, so if you want immediate communication or to be able to hang out and chat, I do highly recommend Twitter. I do spend most of my time over there. But you can shoot me a friend request on Facebook. We'll talk occasionally. We'll hang out. We'll chat. It'll be fun. But that's pretty much how you can get a hold of me. Also, because I didn't do it again tonight, we are working on a few things to try to bring some contests better to you guys' attention. We have a couple of different contests that are running right now. One, of course, is from our friend Slickery Trigger, who is donating one holster a month to a lucky winner. Basically, what you'll need to do to try to partake in that is simply go to k98talk.org. On the very front page, there is an entry form. You can indicate the contest that you want, which is either the holster giveaway or t-shirt bumper sticker giveaway. Those are the two that we have going on right now. So just fill in your information. Tell us which one you want. For the holster, we're typically taking the 50th email in whatever month that we are in to designate who the winner is. The t-shirt one is pretty simple. You can actually enter more than once. We do request that you do so only once a day, though. So if we get an accurate count, we can make sure that we don't wind up giving somebody the same prize twice. So you can enter once a day at that email address until we get to 50. Whoever the 50th email is, as long as it's not you spamming the box on a single day, then you're going to be the winner. The t-shirts and the bumper stickers are being donated and given away by Art is War. So you'll need to indicate that in the contest entry form that you want the Art is War. You can get several different t-shirts, several different bumper stickers. If you've got any questions about those, just shoot me an email. We'll get it all sorted out. Again, if you just want to do it through email, all you've got to do is shoot email to either artiswar@k98talk.org or rebelroad@k98talk.org. Give us your information. Make sure you give us your mailing address so we can get it to the folks that are running the contest and make sure that you get the stuff that you need, and we will get you squared away. 5th email daily can actually win one of those shirts and bumper stickers, or both. All you got to do is tell us what you want. Go over to their website, artiswar.com. If you see something you like, let us know what shirt you've got. If it's not one of the ones that we already have, we will send them your information to make sure that they get it to you. But at this point, folks, I am going to have to get out of here because I've got the G Nation coming hot right behind me, coming at my heels. So we're going to have to get out of here to make room for the grouchy one, the host of the Conservative Curmudgeon radio show. Sorry, I've been saying Conservative Commando all day. Can you tell? All right, so we'll be back with you live tomorrow night. Don't forget, right after me, tomorrow night will be For Whom the Bell Tolls, and then JD and Stacy. Tonight we have the Conservative Curmudgeon, and then According to Me and Bunny. So don't go away. Lots of radio left.
Don't Screw you guys. I'm getting him. Later. Game over, man. It's game over.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.